Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're finally getting that T90 rebuilt. So after a battle to get some usable parts, I've got a stack of useless blocking rings, 2 good ones, and everything else. The initial test fit of the cluster gear shows absolutely no in-play whatsoever. Shims are going to have to be ground down a little bit. I believe the spec is between 12 and 18 thou, and I don't have that at all. To get the proper end play, I used my work sharp. Here you can see me measuring the thickness of each of the washers. I think it was about 0.0625 on each one, which is too much in my case. So I used a loop of duct tape, or Gorilla Tape actually in this case, and stuck each of the washers to my fingers and was able to press them down on that 120 grit disc to get a nice even pass. Then I flipped the disc over to a 400 grit disc to polish that out quite a bit and make it a lot smoother. And then I would measure the difference afterwards to make sure that I was making enough progress. And if not, repeat. And then go on to the next one and repeat. And fit it into the case to make sure you have clearance. And then drop all the needle bearings because it's a dry test fit, and then repeat. And eventually I was able to get a set of 3 washers that had the correct clearance. So after what ended up being about 4 hours of work that wasn't worth recording, I ended up checking both sets of shims. I had the original destroyed ones and my new ones, which were just too thick. And between the two, I was able to come up with a set of shims of the correct thickness. It's kind of neat. The absolutely destroyed one almost looks usable now, and it's almost the correct thickness for what I would need. And even this other one that was very, very deeply scarred up now has a smooth finish and probably would work fine. But I've got a brand new one with a much smoother finish anyway. It may not look like it on camera, some of those micro scratches from the work sharp, but it's very, very smooth for the touch. And realistically, as it starts spinning with some oil in there and gets up to operating speed, it'll probably figure itself out and smooth itself out. So with these 3 right here, that should give me the correct end play. It might be worth noting that these brand new ones straight out of the package, they looked nice and flat, but they really were not. I don't really know how much it matters, but when I was first smoothing these down, like on this one, you can really see where all the low spots are and where all the smoothed out areas are. So like all of this inner area is a low spot. And on this one as well, kind of in the middle, you can see that it's polished because that was high, and the outside took a little bit more direct force to get it to polish down. This one was just basically level. It's just punched steel, nothing special there. All right, and now with these done, the needle bearing counted out again, we're ready to put some of this into that case. Guys, I'm gonna level with you. I am really, really tired of packing needle bearings into this cluster gear. And I thought this would be the last time that I'd have to do that, but unfortunately that was not going to be the case. Starting to build up the main shaft. The synchronizer is just a little bit too tight. I'm trying to test it and didn't want to move. Getting that rear bearing tapped on. And getting things assembled and lubed up one more time. So I thought.
everything seemed to be going well. We got the pilot bearings loaded up here, and we thought we were home free. Last thing to do was to get that oil collector in. But I ran into a weird problem because for some reason those screws would not line up. So the last step here ends up being kind of a downer.
Four-letter words. Nope, not an editing mistake. Everything is all back apart. Why? Bad part. Go figure, on this build, a bad part. So we were at the very end, and I was trying to bolt on this oil collector. It's a new old stock part, not a modern reproduction. And I could get one bolt on, but I could not get the other one on because it wouldn't line up. Now, I don't know if this is maybe for a different variant of a T90. This is a T90A. There's a T90C. I think maybe there's a T90J. Not sure, but either way, it just... You can even measure center to center here. It's approximately that for this one. You measure the other one, and we're already off. Get that a little bit further out. Approximately center to center. Yeah. So, it just wouldn't fit. And of course, to get the thing out, you have to take everything apart. So, I didn't want to reuse this one because it got some heavy damage to it from the catastrophic failure. Plus, this is really, really thin due to all the rust. But, I guess what I'm going to have to do is do a little bit of refurb on this and repair it, and we'll run the original one. So that's the plan.